Thank you, Ranking Member Durbin. Thank you, Chairman Raskin. Welcome back again over here. It's good to have you here and your colleagues. Great to be with all of you, Attorneys General. Thank you. I know how busy you are, so I'm grateful that you're here. I spent some time in your shoes, so it's particularly gratifying to have you here. And of course, I'm very, very fond of and respectful of Peter Nerona, who I nominated for U.S. Attorney and helped support in his run for Attorney General, and who has been an important part of your coalition. So let me start with a thank you. You guys all started ahead of the election. You started preparing the groundwork in case things went wrong. When they did, you were ready. You went right to work. You were quick to move. You had good strategy. You worked well with the private groups, the NGOs, Democracy Forward, and others. And so in a really grim time, I think your litigation work has been a great success, and I think history will look back at your achievements as really important to the protection of the values of our country. So seriously, thank you. I've spent a lot of time banging away about environmental issues and climate stuff and the whole fraudulent climate denial operation that the fossil fuel industry has stood up and the capture of government by corporate interests. And one of the things that interests me is that when I look at environmental cases, I see your RAGA colleagues, your Republican Attorney Generals Association colleagues, showing up in force in an armada. And what it looks to me is that for not that much money, the fossil fuel industry, through American Petroleum Institute, through Exxon, through the KOCH operation, through the Chamber of Commerce, which very often fronts for the fossil fuel industry to give them a little bit of deniability. They basically fund RAGA. Leonard Leo, he's another big RAGA funder, and he's propped up by fossil fuel, so his money flowing through the Concord Fund is probably fossil fuel in its origin. And so they put a couple of $1 million into RAGA, like probably $20, $30, $40 million into RAGA, and what they get for that is free taxpayer-funded legal services, provided in the name of a sovereign state so that they don't have to be quite as out front. And I'm wondering if, and you can take this as a question for the record and get back to me if you'd like, I'm wondering if there are places you think I should be looking to explore more that fossil fuel to RAGA, free legal services for the polluters connection. Because there comes a point when it isn't government any longer. When it looks like government, it has the names of government, but what it really is an industry masked as government attacking its competition so it continue to pollute. And that's the frontier that I'm looking at. And if there are thoughts you have now or thoughts you have later that you can get back to me on, I'd really be grateful for that. Go ahead, General.
Well, Senator, again, thank you, and thanks for all that you do. We all are well aware of the great work you do, and we're grateful for it. Let me say that 2025 will probably be hotter than 2024, which was hotter than 2023, which is hotter than 2022. I mean, today, go outside, and you will see a June here in D.C. and in Minnesota, which is significantly above what historic levels have been. So that's one point I just wanted to make before
it's real.
Yeah, it's a real thing. I joked to my friend today. I said, you know, it's a good thing that there's no such thing as climate change, or else we'd be in real trouble because it's almost 100. It was 101 degrees in Minnesota yesterday. Anyway, yeah, and I can tell you in the Minnesota State Legislature, they have introduced legislation to try to curtail my budget on climate and fossil fuel and environmental litigation. They have my opponent, funded by the fossil fuel industry in the last election, said that his first deed would be to dismiss my climate case. You know, we're not suing because of climate change. We're suing because ExxonMobil and the American Petroleum Institute lied about climate change. You know, we've got
the tobacco model, basically.
Right, essentially tobacco model. But there's documents that they knew, and they said and they lied anyway. They have So they have been working through the legislature to restrict my ability to get interns, to restricted our ability to they would just threaten to dismiss our case, and to call our office and make us explain. And this is all the other side working through them to try to handcuff us. So my point is, your point is well taken, and they don't want to fight fair in court. In fact, we do know that the president himself has actually sent out an executive order saying that we think that these AGs who are challenging the lies and consumer protection deception of the fossil fuel industry, somehow their cases are trying to manipulate energy policy for the United States. No, we're not. This is a simple consumer protection lawsuit. Yeah. And so, even the president has got into the act. So I'll stop right there.
He sicked his MAGA DOJ on you. I think my time is up, but another question that, again, just for QFR, since my time is up, very interesting that there's now a row among the far right between the Koch Leonard Leo polluter faction that captured the court and that still puts flotillas of phony front group amicus briefs in front of the court that have an astonishing record of success, like 100%. And the MAGA Trumpster election denier cohort, and they're now fighting with each other over who should own the nomination process and the court. So if anything in that battle pops up that you think would be interesting to us, please don't hesitate to give me a shout. Thank you. Thank you.